Hello, children. We are going to learn the story, the Narayanpur incident today. So, the Narayanpur is a village or a small town. That is where the story is happening. So, generally, we won't use the article the in front of the names of places. Why did we do that here? Because we are stressing or emphasizing on the incident, the Narayanpur incident. That is the reason why we have used the article the in front of that name. Now, this story is a fictional story. It is not a real one. But the backdrop of the story is real. Quit India movement is the real one which happened in 1942. But the story is a fictional story. This was written by Shashi Deshpande. She is a very well known author and she uses simple English to narrate the story which she is writing. Now, we shall check the elements of the story. So, a story should have a blend of the setting, the plot, the characters, the problem, rising action, falling action, and the climax. So, we shall analyze each element of this story. So, the setting or where the story is happening in a small town of Narayanpur. Okay, so the Narayanpur, otherwise very sleepy village, all of a sudden erupted into protests and processions and lot of agitation against British rule. So it is happening in the year 1942 during the Quit India movement. So there are number of reasons for Quit India movement to start. Gandhiji called Quit India movement for immediate freedom for India. It was there was Second World War had broken out, and Indian soldiers and Indian people were forced to participate or take sides. That is when we realized that freedom for India should be immediate. And that is when Mahatma Gandhi called Quit India movement. Now, in the story, the story is happening in a small town called Narayanpur, and it is happening during Quit India movement. And here, pre-independence fight or pre-independence struggle is narrated. Even the ordinary people, the common man, used to participate actively and protest against British rule. So here there is a family which comprises of five people, father, mother, and three children. And the father is already in jail. He was jailed for giving a motivational speech to the general public. So the children, who are Manju, Babu, and Mohan, and their mother, were at home. And Mohan is a college student. He is 18 years old, and sister Manju, who is 11 years, and 13-year-old brother Babu. So these are the major characters of the story. Coming to the minor characters, Mohan's friend Suman and Mr. Patil, a friend of their father and also a sub-inspector of police. So these are the minor characters. As we already learned, the story is happening in Narayanpur, a small village, and lot of protests and processions are going on against British rule. So as usual, Manju and Babu wanted to go and watch the procession because their brother is also taking part in the procession. So it was drizzling during the day, and by the end of the day, it was heavy rain. But irrespective of the heavy rain, they wanted to go and watch the procession. Then what happened? They expected that when the procession was reaching, there will be some amount of noise and shouts and slogans. But nothing of that sort happened. They were conducting a very peaceful demonstration or peaceful procession. What do you mean by procession? A group of people moving ahead, probably with slogans or silently for a special purpose. That is a procession. So the college students had taken up this procession. They were marching from their college to the district collector's office, probably to give some application or to give a paper which was signed, with a signature of many people. So they wanted to go and give the paper to district collector. And the police was also present there in case of any agitation or violence, they would arrest the protesters. But what happened? There was no shouts, no slogans, except the dripping sound of rain. So, as I told you, it was raining, but they did not care a bit about the rain. They did not pay heed to the rain. They were happily moving ahead because they wanted freedom. And the youngsters, old people, even small children, during that time, everybody has contributed and sacrificed their lives for independence of India. Now, the police would have expected these students to go with a lot of shouts and slogans and noise, but nothing of that sort happened. If had they shouted or had they made some violence, the police could have arrested them. But that did not happen, and the crowd also wanted to avoid it. So they conducted a very peaceful demonstration of the procession. Now, what is the problem in the story? As I told you, they had the procession, they came back home. Then Suman, friend of Mohan, had come with a cyclo-styling machine. That is nothing but a machine to make copies. So now we are having, we take true copies using a machine, right? So that is the machine, cyclo-styling machine, and they wanted to make copies of Mahatma Gandhi's speech. During that time, it was against the rule to make speeches and motivate somebody for independence of India. The government, that means that British government did not allow Indians to protest against the rule. So they will be arrested by the police. That was the rule. So it was illegal to keep something of that sort in your house. But Suman and Mohan wanted to make copies of Mahatma's speech and they got cyclo-styling machine at home. Later, Mr. Patil, who is a police inspector and also friend of their father, had come home and he said, please hand over the machine to me because I got a news that the police are going to come and check your house. So I don't want anyone to be in trouble. I don't want any one of you to be in jail. Already your father is in jail. Please hand over the machine to me. Then Amma, that means mother of the family, handed over the cyclo-styling machine to Mr. Patil, who is the police inspector. So these are the events. Problems happened. So first event was Babu and Manju watched the college students procession, peaceful procession. Later, what happened? Mohan's friends got a cyclo-styling machine home. And event three, the police inspector, Mr. Patil, had come home to take the cyclo-styling machine from their home. Now, how did the story end? Then, after Mr. Patil left with the cyclo-styling machine, the police had come home in search of cyclo-styling machine, but they could not get any because Mr. Patil was kind enough to inform them ahead of time and take it away so that there is no proof left that they had used the cyclo-styling machine. So Mr. Patil was a true patriot. At the same time, he was a responsible friend that he wanted the family to be safe. And the real police, Mr. Patil was also part of the police, but he was responsible friend too. Now the police came later and they were searching the house to find some proof or evidence, but they could not get any. So nothing incriminating was found. What do you mean by incriminating? something which is worth punishing. So if you keep a cyclostyling machine, that is worth punishable crime. So that did not happen. So Mr. Patil saved the family from being jailed or arrested. Now, who are the main characters of the story? I know that you will give me a very quick answer. Yes, Mohan, Babu, Manju, Amma, Mr. Patil, and Suman. When did the story happen? Where did the story happen? Who is Mr. Patil? How did he help the family? I'm quite sure that once you go through this presentation, you will have all the answers with you. And I also want you to read through the lesson word by word, line by line. Underline the new words, write down the meanings, check the dictionary. If you are unable to find the meaning or unable to understand the topic or the concept, we shall discuss in the classroom. And I'll make sure that you know the lesson thoroughly. Okay, children? Thank you.